Okay, I'm recording. Okay, so good evening once again, everyone, and this is the continuation of what we started earlier. We ended at this independent clauses. I mean the dependent clauses and the overall value of and function of dependent and independent. So right now, let's have a bit more understanding on how to have a configuration in the sentence in the clauses. So right now, let's start with combining. Okay. So right now, oops. Okay, so right now we have uh, combining combination. So we can actually combine two independent clauses, or we can combine one independent clauses and another dependent clauses. So whichever you like, let's have a clear understanding on what should we do. So first, can we combine two independent classes? Yes, we can combine two independent classes. Just like what we discussed earlier, we can combine two different uh, independent classes or two related independent classes using semicolon. And I actually mentioned earlier that we can use a comma in combining two independent classes, but it really differs on what we do. So first, there are three types on how to add or how to combine two independent clauses. So first, use a comma before a coordinating conjunction or a connecting word. So for example, we have independent clause. Again, use comma. So in here we are going to use comma before a coordinating conjunction. So after the sentence, or I mean after the clause, we need to put a comma and we need to use these connecting words. These connecting words are limited, so do not use other connecting words besides of these 2, 4, 6, 7 because these are limited. So independent clause plus comma, then conjunction, then no comma, go directly with another independent clause. For example, I was tired after working all day, comma, so we use so in there. So the connecting word, I decided to I decided to go to bed early. So again, I was tired after working all day. That is the independent clause. Then comma, then use coordinating conjunction. In here we use so, then plus independent clause. So I decided to go to bed early. So that is how we combine two independent clauses with the use of comma. Next, use a semicolon between two independent clauses when or with no coordinating conjunction. So in here we have independent clause, then semicolon or semicolon, whatever it is, semicolon, then in the independent clause. So it means to say that when we uh, don't want to use the connecting words, these coordinating conjunctions, we are going to use the semicolon instead. And why? What's the reason? Na sir, naman tay conjunctions and it is really formal and there are instances na makakonclude ta sir dali ra sabton pag magamit ng coordinating conjunction. So the reason class is that especially in technical writing, uh, words are counted, words are limited. So instead of having lengthy words, we can actually uh, you know, exclude other conjunctions or other flowering words or other symbols in order for us to reach that limitation. For example, write 100 word essay or 200 word essay. Now, instead, you can create more meaningful one. You can actually exclude other conjunctions, just use symbol or just use other exact or fixed or other superlative meaning of the words. Okay. So that is the purpose of the semicolon. But in here, The purpose in semicolon is when we don't have a coordinating conjunction, we are going to use the semicolon. For example, I was tired from working all day. That is the independent clause. Then semicolon between that one. I decided to go to bed early. Another independent clause. Okay, so again, when you don't have connecting word, just use semicolon. But it when you don't have a semicolon, just look for the comma, then coordinating conjunction. And the third and the last step on how to combine two independent clauses is first, use a semicolon before and after. I mean, a comma after the conjunctive adverbs or the connecting words listed below. So again, use a semicolon before and a comma after the conjunctive adverbs, the connecting words listed below. So first we have independent clause, then semicolon, then just use these connecting words below. These conjunctive adverbs. These are limited also, so do not use other conjunctive adverbs that is really, I mean, that's not really appropriate with the context of what we creating right now. So right now we have these accordingly, also, besides, consequently, furthermore, however, moreover, nevertheless, otherwise, then, therefore, thus, still, then, what again? Comma, comma after the conjunctive word, comma, then another independent clause. Again, for example, I was tired from working all day, semicolon, therefore, comma, I decided to go to bed early. So again, let's take a bit by bit. I was tired from working all day. So that is the independent clause. I was tired from working all day. Independent clause. Then, since we have two independent clause, let's use a semicolon. Semicolon. Let's apply number two. Let's apply number two. But, sir, I want to use a connecting word. Kay gusto na ko maghatag pa jud og kuan kanang meaning, sir, sa ako ang verb next ngano nag-decide ko ato. So, use these conjunctive adverbs. Then, pag use nimo, example, therefore, so you need to use comma after that adverb and just put the independent clause. Okay, I will read it again. I was tired from working all day, semicolon. Therefore, comma, I decided to go to bed early. Okay, so these are the three ways on how we combine two independent classes, whether they are related to each other, they are not that related to each other, or whether you use connecting word or symbols or everything, just strictly use and apply these three ways when you add two independent clauses. So right now we are done with adding two independent clauses. So what should we do next is how to add one independent and one dependent clauses, because we cannot add two dependent clauses actually. So right now, let's have these combining independent clauses with dependent clauses. So basically, the overall view in here is one dependent plus dependent, just like that. So when the dependent clause begins with subordinating conjunction or connecting words and precedes the independent clause, separate the clause with a comma. So unsa daw atong i-separate unsa man ang independent clause na isa ka buok. Okay? So right now, I mean, yes, precedes the independent clause, separate with that clause with a comma. Okay, that's correct. So right now, to make it more specific, we have these subordinating conjunctions that are limited also. So just remember these words, or as long as you can, memorize these. So if we have these, for example, after is a subordinating conjunction. So we do not need to use comma or semicolon, but just add the dependent clause. Okay, the dependent clause. So since plus dependent clause, so after sa dependent clause is comma, dependent clause dito guys. So, comma, then i-enclose na nato siya, comma, dira na siya, since I was tired, so mahimo na siya clause dira with the connecting word, isa na siya ka-clause, then plus independent clause dayon na I decided to go to bed early. Ana siya. Okay? So for example, since I was tired, since is the subordinating conjunction, then I was tired is the dependent clause, like I was tired. Then, comma, I decided to go to bed. The independent clause. Or, feel ko pwede siya balihon. Mm, I decided to go to bed since I was tired. Inana lang. Asa ka napita magkama? I think walay kama ana pag inana. Because active voice mo siya. I decided to go to bed since I was tired. Dili po siya inana kakuan, more meaningful. But since this is our, combination with dependent and independent. So we should strictly follow uh, conjunction, then dependent, then comma, then independent. Okay. So I hope everyone got it. Next is that is the combining independent clause with the dependent clause. Next is this one. When this is an addition to this. When when the dependent subordinate clause follows the independent clause, don't use a comma before or after the subordinating conjunction. So do not use comma, okay? Mo ni akong ganina guys, tama. Nara, walay comma. So right now, I decided to go to bed since I was tired. Okay, tama ta kanina, nice. So in here, independent clause. So kung ibaliktad din mo siya guys. So ang formula din ay pinakauna kay na confuse ko gamay kay murag nawala ko ganina pero naka-remember na ko karan. Ang formula gid ani is subordinating conjunction plus dependent, comma, then independent. Ben kung gusto ka mag-active voice language siya, kani magud since I was tired, passive man gud siya, like giuna nimo ang kuan ba ang result before sa kuan good, before sa reason nimo ano ba. So ang reason nimo kaniadto kag bed tungod kay tired man ka. So nag-passive ka. So mo tayo mo dapat i-follow conjunction plus dependent, comma, independent. Next is just if this I decided to go to bed since I was tired. So just basically do not use comma or semicolon. Just put subordinating conjunction between the independent clause and dependent clause. Dapat una ang independent clause kay seems it would be little awkward and layo na kayo ang meaning. Kung mo yung tag I was tired since I decided to go to bed. Like, so, mo din na ang meaning dahil anong, kuan, na-tired ka, kay tungod ka niya kag bed. So, di ba, nimbali ang meaning. So, dapat niya kag bed tungod kay, gikapoy ka, inana ang iyahang kuan, inana ang iyahang thought. So, again, in here, independent clause, then subordinating conjunction, then dependent clause, without no hesitation. So, this is the continuation of what we started earlier, and I will just end this discussion now and just in this part, and I will create another video for the continuation of the PowerPoint. Okay, thank you very much. Ciao.